Hello, everyone. My name is Toluade. Welcome to Manifest Hub, where I help young adults and young adult leaders build and cultivate and engage in young adults ministry. Thank you for joining me again for yet another episode, and thank you for all the support on the initial videos and on the introductory videos. I look forward to serving you more and more. So, today we are going to be talking about just what you've been waiting for. Your young adults are not engaged. How? How do you build an engaging young adults ministry? So I did a poll on IG the other day trying to find out what's the number one challenge or what's the greatest challenge young adult leaders are having. And I am not surprised to find out that many of you are having challenges getting your young adults engaged. So you're in luck today. I am going to walk you through a few things that you can do and try in your church to get your young adults engaged and excited about the young adults ministry. So follow along, and as my custom is, I will be giving you some buzzwords. So I believe we have about 5 or 6 today to get started. So let's get started. Number one, you have to, of course, pray. This is ministry that we're talking about after all. So you can't do this on your own. You need reinforcement. And what better reinforcement to get than the person that sent you on an errand, which is God himself. So you got to pray. You got to pray about everything from, what direction should you go? How do you even tackle this issue? Pray about God giving you a sensitive heart, sensitive ears, sensitive eyes to see, hear, and listen for what he's asking you to do and listen for what the issues are around you. Pray about God giving you favor with the young adults. Pray about just everything and anything. And honestly, a young adult leader that's not praying will easily get frustrated. I know. There were times where I was so busy picking up and doing operational stuff rather than praying. And guess what happened? I got so frustrated, and I would keep getting frustrated until, the Holy Spirit reminded me, like, hey, you have to take a step back. You have to retreat and just pray and just commit it all into God's hands. So you praying doesn't not only help you, it also helps the situation. It helps how you react to the situation. Or else, like I said, you're just going to be frustrated at everybody and anybody. And that is not good. So number two is to investigate. So after you've prayed, you would want to be sensitive enough to just look around. So you've prayed now, you've asked God to open your heart, open your ears, open your eyes to be able to see what's going on. So find out what the issues are. Are people feeling discouraged? Are people maybe feeling like there's some issues that or barriers that's preventing them from being engaged? Are people feeling like, there's just a lot of cliques, I don't want to get involved because of that? Or do people feel like, oh, people are not too friendly up in this place and they're just feeling maybe like they're not welcomed? Is it possible that people maybe have tried stuff in the past and they didn't feel supported, or they didn't feel like, anybody was listening to them? Are people feeling discouraged about like, I don't know if we can do it? Because a lot of times fear would make people kind of cower. Because a lot of times fear would make people kind of step back and not want to be associated with things. So find out what the issues are. Talk to people, and some people might not be open and honest or real enough with you. So listen to what they're not saying as well. The more you build trust with them, the more they're able to open up and just really tell you how it is. So definitely you want to investigate. You want to figure out what is going on amongst the young adults in your church. Okay? And now you've prayed, you've investigated. Number three is to reflect. So really reflecting is just more you, and also it could be also with your young adult leaders or your young adult executives, like I don't like to call them. So reflect. What do you actually know about your young adults? I think this is where a lot of us drop the ball. I remember when I first started in young adults ministry, I just thought like, hey, I would just get together programs and events and people would just come, and surprisingly they did not show up, or maybe only a few would trickle in after like half an hour later, or have to drag them to come to our meetups. And I just started feeling like, okay, what is going on? Why are people not coming? Only to eventually realize, or some of them are actually honest and upfront to say, well, we don't feel like you care about us, right? And believe it or not, I know a lot of us are feeling like, oh, we don't want to get into their businesses. they want you to get in their businesses. They're just not going to come out and say that. So what do you actually know about them? From reflecting, you're able to figure out what are the issues that is distracting them right now in their life, right? What are the issues distracting them right now that is preventing them from even thinking about church or trying to come to church or even trying to stay long in church or get involved? Because you know what? They are getting involved in other areas of their life. So what is going on? Why are they not plugging into church? So one of those things could be, especially if you have a lot of, if your young adults is heavily student, so you have a heavy student population like university or college students. One of the things that usually distracts people, young adults in that category, is studies. People maybe they're stressing out during midterms, or people are sometimes maybe stressing out about their school fees, or people are maybe stressing out about exams, like exams are coming. So I remember in one of the young adults ministry I used to lead, one of this young man, he was at some point like he was engaged, and then he dropped off after some point, only for me to, when I dug deeper and talked to him and chased after him or looked for his friends, he was having difficulty in statistics. And you know what? I did statistics. I went to the same school, but I could barely remember anything. So I had to really just plug him in and connect him with another young adult that just did statistics and is able to coach them through it. And you know what? He did his midterm and he did quite well in it. So, something like that, an experience like that, young adults will not forget. They will not forget that, hey, you know what? This person doesn't only just care about me coming to serve in church. They also care about my schooling. They're able to put positive reinforcements around me. So figure out those things in the way that you can help people with these things, right? So don't just overlook them. Try to dig deeper. It's in reflecting and seeing how much you actually know about your young adults. You're able to also figure out the solutions. So definitely you want to reflect. So just going over the first three things we talked about. Number one, you would want to pray. So just ask God for directions and ask God for a sensitive heart or a sensitive spirit. And also to be able to listen. Because sometimes some of the ways people would talk to you, it would seem very accusatory. And you can almost get frustrated, and you want to pray for just to have a sensitive heart, to be able to really to listen to their heart and not feel any kind of way about it, or not feel discouraged yourself or feel frustrated yourself. The second thing is you would want to investigate to find out what the issues are. Why are they not plugging into church? Are they discouraged? What is going on? And the third thing is you would want to reflect. You want to reflect to figure out how do you really know your young adults, right? To just dig into their life to figure out what is really, really going on in their life. What are the issues they're facing? What are the things that they're struggling with that is preventing them from coming to plug in? So those are the first three things for now. I'm going to continue in the next video. I just leave you with that. Start over with that. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Manifest Hub. I look forward to you, practicing these things and seeing how it works for you. So if you have any questions, definitely comment below or send me a message on Instagram or manifesthub@gmail.com. You can also check out our website. It's live right now, www.manifesthub.org. Thank you so much. I would love you to just do one thing for me. So just subscribe below if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram @ManifestHub. And also just share. Sharing is caring. Tell your friends about it. Hope to see you next time. Thank you.